Okay, in this tutorial, I'm just going to go over a few basic techniques on how we can make a nice even color gradation from light to dark. Freehand, of course. And with that said, what we will first want to do is wet our layer or the area that you are working in. And we could verify that by hitting the show wet area. And then the visual settings, everything but drip. You don't want any drips for this unless you do require drips for some reason. And then now the brush I'm going to use is very straightforward. It's just a typical very soft edged brush, and this very soft edge will help you with your gradation. This is more or less like along the lines of an airbrush type brush, and the very soft spray edges will help you mix the layers together. So now that my layer is wet, what I want to do is actually turn the water all the way up, and then the opacity I'm only going to leave at about 15, and for this size of a picture in DPI, I'm going to turn the size all the way up. Now for this particular brush, this is about the size 700, which is as big as you could go. So that I want is big, and you will see why here in a minute. But for that reason, what I will then do is if I want this to blend all the way down into white, then I will actually leave a little bit of the white bottom. But then what I'll do is start right here, make a layer across, and then start right up above it. Wherever my brush ends, that's where I'll begin the next layer. And then the same for the next layer, and then the same for the next layer and final layer. So what I want to do is keep painting one layer and don't lift up just to get that first coat down. And then we'll do that, and we'll try that to see how this works. And then we'll do one final technique once that's all done. But as long as you're painting and you don't lift up, the diffusion will not be working until you stop. So that will actually give you the time to mix colors if you do it quick enough. And here's what I mean. We will try it right now. Okay, I will go down here and let's just grab the cobalt violet. And what I'll do is just to show my whole entire layer is wet. And what I'm going to do is start about right in here. And then what I'll do is at 15% with a lot of water, I will start straight across. And I'm doing this freehand. I'm not even going to use my shift key to make a mechanical line. And then once I do this, I'm only putting down one layer of 15% cobalt violet. Then I'll pick up and then start right here and then go do another one. And then pick up and start right here and do another one. And then start right here and do one more. And then one final last layer right across here. And then now what I will do is go to my blend tool, and just a typical blend, I will do some vertical passes starting from the top and going down, straight down. And you have to be careful as far as you may be ahead of what your PC or Mac is trying to do. So in other words, you're blending, but it's catching up to you. So if you leave it go, then once I get my gradation down to where I want it, then I'll just shift it and dry that layer, and then that's it. And then now I have a fairly decent gradated color. That what can happen is if I actually, that is just the actual texture of the paper coming out. So it's a fairly decent textured gradation of color. But now say, for example, if I wanted this to be darker, then what I can actually do is just take this over here, duplicate that layer, and then now it's much darker. But now if there's any imperfections in my gradation, so you don't magnify them, what I would then do is grab my transform tool and using my up arrow just to start to send that layer up a little bit so they don't overlap perfectly. And then this way we'll offset the two layers, and that way that will create a much better gradation, starting twice as dark as it was, going all the way down to the pure white of the paper. And if I like it right there, and if I see a half decent gradation the way I like it, then I'll just enter that and save that, and then that's it. There's your gradation. One solid color, from a very deep color to a perfect white paper. Okay, this time I'm working with a 12 by 16 at 300 DPI. So a lot of artists like to work at 300 DPI for the quality of printing. But then again, now notice what happened to my 700 pixel brush. Even though it's a smaller area, the brush got quite a bit smaller. So for that reason, what I can do is, depending on how I want to lay my gradation down, keep in mind you could use it and move it anywhere you want, but just to make a gradation, you may not have to duplicate the layer this time. And what I mean by that is, what I'll do is I will just go down here and grab, just say for example, the cobalt blue this time. And what I will do is keep the opacity of 15, the water all the way up, as big as I could get, just for this particular application. The reason why is then I want to wet my layer, and I will actually verify that. But then now what I could do is actually, if I want to gradate from white paper down here all the way up to the darkest blue I can get up here, then what I'll do is the same thing. I'll put one layer here, then the next one, then the next one, and the next one, the next one, and then the final one. And all I'm doing is trying to layer one on top of the other with the distance of the spaced brush, using it just to eyeball where each layer will start. And I'm again going to just do this freehand with no shift key help. So what I will do is grab the blue I already have, and what I'm going to do is, once I start, by actually doing this freehand and not lifting up at all till I get this entire layer covered, then once I lift up, I'll start the next one right here, then go straight across, and then do this all the way up. And then again, I'll start the next one about right here, do that one all the way up. And if this one, because of the brush is so much smaller, I probably will not have to duplicate the layers, only because I will be pretty dark by the time I get to the top. Then the next one would be right here. And again, I'm way ahead of my brush, so when I go to use my blend tool, I have to be patient and give it a chance to blend, because as I'm blending, I may be ahead of my PC itself. And then now, if I do that, and then I'll do this, and again, as long as I'm painting, I'm putting a pause on the diffusion. And one last one way up here, and then again, I will grab my blend tool, and as big as I could get it, just come straight down and non-stop. And then again, this is where I definitely may be ahead of my PC, just by grabbing the colors and going straight down and taking the color and blending it evenly straight down. I don't want to blend up in this particular case, because I just want the colors to blend evenly down. Then I'll even take one more pass at it. And if I am ahead of it, I will wait a few seconds after I'm completely done and let the mixing catch up. And then if that's where I want it, if I need it gradated more, then I will actually mix more. And this is how I can get a fairly dark color to the white of the paper in any given area. And again, if I want to or need to, I could go back over the whiteness of the bottom with an eraser and just go in reverse, slightly and slowly go up. And you can even see that where it's blending is kind of behind my brush strokes. So again, I will give it a little wee bit of time. I'm waiting now just to see how it blends together. And then I like it where it's at now, so I'm going to stop it and quick dry. And that was a gradation done in real time to a 12 by 16 at 300 DPI. Now we're going to do one last test, and that is, just say for example, if you wanted just a given space of a gradation. Then all we would have to do is line off that space, and we could even use the marquee tool to designate that space, or use a mask and protect what areas we don't want. But it would be the same thing as far as just what you end up with as your end result. So let's try that next. Okay, but first let's take a close-up look at this one. It looks like it's a little wee spotty in some areas, but what that actually is the texture of the paper. If I start enlarging it, then what I want to do is look for any irregularities in the color itself, not the texture of the paper. So if I actually take this up to 100, which is right there, then I can actually start panning through my gradation and see if I see any irregularities and color blending at all. And it looks fairly clean. And that's what I would be looking for. And with that in mind, this would be a pretty usable gradation depending on how you wanted to use it. Now, our last gradation, what we'll do is we'll actually designate an area, and then we'll just do a gradation within that designated area. That's, say, for example, you have any subject whatsoever, building, object, you name it, and if you want that specific area gradated, then this will be how we could do it. Let's go ahead and do that one next. Okay, let's say, for example, this time we want a designated area. So no matter what your object, no matter what your subject, or any specific part of your painting you need gradated, I will mark it off with the freehand tool and then create a designated area that we can actually gradate. Now what I'll do is I will actually even say, for example, we'll just go with my wet script, make it real small, and I'm even going to go with the black, and then just say, for example, light down here and then dark up here. Now, if I grab my freehand tool and I make all kind of an interesting shape, that's my shape. And now what I want is, if I want it light down in here, gradating up to dark, then the same thing, I will do the same patterns of mixing back and forth. And what I want to do is just concentrate on my brush size. So I overlap my brush strokes evenly, and then blend this now the same direction this way to get an even blending from dark to light. So let's try that. Let's go with a different color. We'll go with a darker color. It'll make a better, more deeper gradation. Here's one right here. This one is actually the permanent magenta. We'll try it. And then what I want to do is go back up to see what the size of my brush is. And that could be okay. Now remember, if I only have 4 or 5 layers of color, then I could easily duplicate that layer. If I have a much smaller brush and I have then maybe 7 or 8 layers, then I won't need to duplicate the layer, but it all depends on how dark you want to go compared to how light you want to go. So if it's just a subtle gradation, you only may need 1 or 2 passes, 3 passes, what have you. But if you want a real dark color up here, then real light, you may need to make your brush smaller and have more passes. So here's how we could do that. Now again, what I wanted to do is actually wet the layer. And I will go back over to my real soft brush, and I will make it bigger. We'll make it small so we actually just make, just say, for example, 1 pass. And we'll try to do that. And then what we will do is then leave the opacity all the way down to about 15 again. So I'm just taking up a little bit at a time, and then tons of water. And I have no direction on a tilt, so how I'm going, it doesn't matter. The paint will be bleeding out in every direction, and that's what I want. Now, I wouldn't want a direction. If it was going straight down, that would be actually against the angle I'm trying to blend it. So if I do that, then now if I start, say, for example, I want this pure white down here, then what I'll do is just start up in here and go straight down, and then again, just keep on painting until I get a nice even color all the way up, and then start right here and go right here, and it'll even give me a chance to straighten up my line freehand if I need to, and then go all the way up and then again start right here, go up that way, and then go all the way up, and just color that all in because I'm not lifting up again until I get my layer done. And then do that again, color all the way up, then do it again, all the way up, and again, this is obviously in real time, again, all the way up, and then again, and then one last time, and then now again, grab my blend tool, and then go this way, and keep blending until I get rid of those banded colors. And again, my computer might be a little wee bit behind, so now I'll start back here at the beginning and just keep pulling straight down. I'm starting from the D and going straight to the L, starting from the top. And one last time. And that's it. And there's our gradated color. If I like it the way it is, I'll fast dry it. And then again, I am very dark up here, going to light down here. And like say, for example, this is too dark now. Then what I could actually do is then just go up to the eraser and do the same thing in reverse. I have my very soft picked up. And then now what I could do is actually just go straight down, and actually slowly erase that. But then once I get down to there, then I may have to blend again. But I could take it down as little as I want or can, and then maybe one last time blend. And these are just options that you could do as you're working for whatever kind of gradation you need to do. But a freehand gradation is possible, that's for sure. And then again, that could be the texture of the paper. It's starting to show up a little bit. And there's my gradation there. And even if I want to gradate a different angle, I could do that also. If this is a little wee bit light in here, then I'll pull this over. This is all by eye, of course. And then once I dry that in place, I will get rid of my deselect, and that would be that. And then there's my shape that's gradated. Now, if I take a close-up look at that, and again, I would look for any kind of irregularities just to see how my gradation came out. There's a little wee bit right in there. A little wee bit right in there. But otherwise, that might not be too bad. And if it's acceptable for what we're using it for, then we could go with that. But obviously, this is going to depend on how perfect of a gradation you want. For myself, if I'm doing a freehand drawing that involves all freehand painting, I personally may not want a perfect gradated color that it may then start to look graphic up against all the freehand. But that's just me. But otherwise, these are just examples and samples of what you could do to try and create a gradated color for yourself. If you think the easiest way is just to gradate the entire page and then lift that layer out and then bring it into your painting that way, or even just work on a separate layer that you could create your gradation, then that might be a better way that you could create a more perfect layer and then actually just crop out the area that you want and then import it, or actually work within the same painting just on a different layer to create that gradation. So with that in mind, that would be it for this quick tutorial, just to try and help you gradate a color from light to dark. I hope this helps you in some way. Until the next time, we will see you out in the field or in the studio. Thanks for watching.